What's going on, Fit Fam? Maybe you are shaking a little bit. I apologize. The tripod is technically a bit broken. I was doing those. I don't know if you guys saw. I think I posted a video on the YouTube Shorts. But I was doing some L-sit pull-ups the other day, and I accidentally kicked the tripod. Not fun. So we'll see how it works for today. It's looking so janky right now. You guys are shaking so much. Hopefully we'll get through this, but whatever. I'm gonna have to order a new freaking tripod. It is what it is. They aren't too bad. They're usually like 20 bucks, 30 bucks. But dang, man, it's been a minute since I've done that. Anyways, I'm feeling pretty dang sore in just my upper body in general. What I did yesterday, we did pull yesterday, of course, but you guys saw last time's push day. And I really didn't think we went too hard on last push day, but my chest is sore as hell, man. I think it was literally the dumbbell chest press where we dropped down to the 60s, and I was really focused on the bottom portion and really like contracting through there. I am sore as all hell through there, man, which is good. But legs today, man, I'm still freaking sore from the sprints. God, I forgot what it was. But anyways, as far as energy goes, I feel pretty good. Been a little bit higher calorie. I've really been doing more like 2,600 calories. That might just be where we need to sit at. I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying to shoot for 2,300, but you know, it floats around. As long as I'm not hitting like those 3,000 plus calorie days, I'm gonna be pretty happy. But you know, 26 is definitely a little bit too much. But we're gonna rock with it and just see what happens. Leg day today, we're supposed to be, I think I already went over it with you guys last time. We're doing Zercher squat or Zercher lunges. Then we're doing hack squats. Then we're doing lying hamstring curls. And then we're doing hip thrusters, I believe. And then we're doing core. So it's pretty laid out already. That's the main agenda. And then on this next pull day, we might go back to, so I did pull day at Hotworks yesterday, like I was telling you guys. That was great. I mean, very different. Didn't get to use a lot of weight, but again, I feel pretty freaking sore. Did a lot of different pull-up variations. Did a lot of cable stuff. But I also, next time I kind of want to hit some, oh, boom! I want to hit some Renegade rows to kind of start off the workout. And they only have like 50-pound dumbbells there, but again, just kind of taking a little bit of a de-stressor from strength for myself. Which I'm acting like, you know, 50 pounds is just like, no weight. It's some weight, you know? But just playing around with some different stuff and then, you know, kind of bouncing back between there. But I also want to get another gym in the mix. I'm trying to figure out which one that is. We will see, because I still gotta start up some jiu-jitsu within the next, well, this weekend. And that'll be some rearrangements. It's just a lot of like adding new variables and stuff, so I'm trying not to overload my system, you know. A little dehydrated this morning. I just haven't drank a lot of water. I gotta get a little bit better about getting water in the morning time. But I didn't get a weigh out this morning either. Rip. Yesterday I weighed out in the morning time at like 236, which we're going down steadily. Try not to hyperfixate on it, because I can still, you know, my abs are pretty much there at 236. I say there, I mean, they're not like popping, you know, but you guys have seen them. They're not there. They're like right, I mean, I'm pushing on it. See what I mean? It's not like I'm pushing in just the whole time. See what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm super lean either, though. That's what I'm trying to go. That's the whole point of the cut, athletic cut, right? But I feel like we're gaining muscle, which is really strange. I need to get an actual body fat percentage test, because it's all, you know, those really wacky ass scale. Well, I actually haven't even used those scales to test where the body fat percentage is at in a while. Even those inaccurate ones. The only thing I've done is something I'll do with people who don't have access to this stuff. I'll tell them you can use, and this is a good tip. If you guys don't have access to like body fat percentage tests, like either like a scale or, and again, guys, those scales are going to be just about as accurate as what I'm going to tell you to do. But you could, what I really prefer people to do if you're local is there's something in town you can get called a InBody test, which is free at a bunch of different places. So if you have access to something like that, it's not the most accurate, but it's definitely more accurate than the scales you guys are going to get online. But you know, with those, I really like, you know, using that to determine where my body fat percentage is at, and then basing things off of that. Or you can get real accurate with it. I've only ever done this once in my life because they're expensive. I say they're expensive. You got to pay like $100 to get it. But those DEXA scans, DEXA, if you guys want to look those up, because you can get them, you know, anywhere you can get a, because the process is the same as getting like an ultrasound, basically. So anywhere, you know, people, you know, women get ultrasounds, you can pretty much get a DEXA scan. So that being said, that's the only time I ever did that. Was the first time I ever got my body fat percentage tested when I was doing wrestling back in high school for the hydration test, and I failed the hydration test, so I couldn't even wrestle. Which those things were wacky anyways. But that being said, I was at like, that was when I figured I was at my heaviest at 34% body fat, at 284 pounds. Now with those InBody tests, not as accurate, but they're only off by a couple percent compared to the DEXA scan. So they're still pretty good. And guys, any kind of body fat percentage is going to be good for like estimating like where you need to be as far as like, you know, calorie deficits, you know, tracking stuff, and figuring out where your progress is, and like figuring out if you're going in the right direction more than anything. Like as long as that body fat percentage is going down, that's all that matters. It doesn't have to be the most accurate thing in the world. The trend just needs to go down if that's your goal, right? Now, that being said, if you don't have access to all that stuff, you don't want to pay $100 for a DEXA scan, you don't know where an InBody test is, maybe you don't even want to pay for those pretty inaccurate like body fat percentage scales, because again, what I'm gonna tell you is free, and it's, you know, gonna be just about as accurate. But you can throw a picture of yourself into ChatGPT. You know, I would do it like post pump, so we can see like where your muscle definition is. You know, because it can get, as far as a picture goes, it can, you know, if unpumped muscle can look just like body fat, you know. So it gives ChatGPT a little bit more of a representation of where you actually are. But throw a picture into ChatGPT, it'll give you a rough estimate. And I've tested this, it's going to be just about on the same par as what those scales are, because I have one of those scales at home. I'll retest it, but that's something I'll tell people, especially if you don't have access to that kind of stuff. You know, everyone has access to ChatGPT. If you're watching this right now, you have access to ChatGPT. Use that tool to help you, man. I'm telling you, it helps with a lot of different things. Now, it's no trainer. It's not going to make you show up. It's not going to check in on you to make sure that you're tracking your calories and doing all this kind of stuff. And it's not going to, you know, let's be honest, it's a robot. You're not going to listen to a robot. You know, like that's not, your only reason you would listen to it is because I'm telling you to go listen to it. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, this is a robot. It doesn't understand human needs. Anyways, that being said, I'm telling you, that's a good way to use it. That's what I would use it for, as well as like making up some new exercises or finding some new exercises. Maybe not for workout programs, because more likely, again, you're just not going to follow it. But again, some tidbits of information there. But anyways, I got to get inside to get this leg day going, so I'll see you guys in there. Okay, that tripod is barely hanging on, man. But anyways, let me just take a gander at it, make sure audio is working. Yeah, we're good to go. God, man, this is a piece of it just flapping off. I'll go, I'm supposed to record some absolutely freaking ridiculous content for you guys today. So I'll have to go shopping for stuff like props and stuff. So I'll see if I can pick up a new tripod that'll fit that and see if we can find something a little bit more sturdy. But that being said, we got these Zercher lunges. Dude, we're gonna have to be very careful with it. I thought we were gonna go a little bit heavier than this. We may go up to 225 on this, but I'm feeling that right on that inner thigh. It's still from those sprints. Today for conditioning, by the way, I don't know if I covered this for yesterday. Yesterday we did rowing in the sauna for 15 minutes. Just nose breathing. So that was conditioning yesterday. Today we're going to do bag work, and I'm going to have to use my phone for the timer. So we're not going to record that part, but that's what we got today. We'll see how it goes. I did some kicking earlier. I feel pretty okay to throw kicks, but you know, doing weighted exercises is a little bit different. We'll see how this is feeling. Oh my God. One more. Okay. Yeah, that freaking sucks. Whew. But I think we'll be okay. I'm not gonna add any more weight to that though. My legs, like, it's this leg, it's this inner thigh, but it's when I'm lunging on this side, it's this stretch. You can feel it when I do that. Just got me a little bit antsy. So 2-minute break, we'll go again. We did 2 more warm-up sets before this, so that was 3, this will be 4, and then we'll do 1 more after this. And then we got hack squat, so we'll probably do that for 4. We'll see, man. I'm still very much debating bringing this weight down. But I think we can do it for at least 1 more set, and then I'll go down. That's the deal I'll make. Because I do want to kind of take my time on one of these. Man, it just takes a lot of like controlled breathing. Because if I fuck up, I'd lose that tension and I could fuck myself up. And this is already hard to breathe on. Yep. Oh my God. God. Yeah, a few of those went all the way to the bottom. I couldn't hold the tension. It's so hard to breathe on those. Yeah, I'm taking some weight down. Good Lord, man, this is already wearing me out. Like, I'm sweating pretty good. And then again, this is going to be the 5th set, so I mean, we're just warmed up. But hack squats after these, we're going to definitely take some weight down and go a little bit more like 12 to 15 reps. We'll see how those, again, those inner thighs are really going to be the determining factor. All right. Huh. Oh, fuck me. Try to get in a wider stance here. Fuck. Okay. Fucking done with those, man. God, I hate those. The regular exercises are fine. The lunges suck. Like, bad. Oh. They're done. They're done. Okay. I'm gonna go get set up for hacks. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do hamstring curls. We got someone over on the hack squat. If
all else fails, we'll do some other like quad focused squat variation. Like I really need to get front squats in, and I do not want to, but again, I need to. So we'll see what happens. Right now, these are feeling actually really good. So I'm keeping the weight really light for the hammies. Honestly, I don't want to go above where I'm at. It's fine because I'm doing high volume here. We're gonna do 3 more sets of, let's do 2 more sets of 15. Yeah, so I can fit more into the video. Because core-wise, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. It's not exactly the day for this, but I do want to kind of do some L-sits for core. Because I think what we're going to do on leg day is we're going to work on isometric stuff. Obviously, we'll get in stuff like, you know, lower back movements and stuff like that, like reverse hypers, kettlebell swings, stuff like that. But a big part of it is going to be like the transverse abs, because I do want to directly hit those, because those are going to be important, along with making sure we hit obliques and along with making sure we hit the rectus abdominis, you know? I think if we can split it up that way and just kind of sporadically throw stuff in, that'll be good. So that being the case, isometric hold I want to do is L-sits, and I'll do a manual count of like 10 if I can, because it'll be hard, you know. I don't know if I even can do that. We're gonna see. That's why I want to start doing those. They'll be good for, again, you know, I have that anterior pelvic tilt problem, so you know, working on pulling that forward would help. And then I kind of want to do some ab roller too. That wouldn't be a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? Get a little bit of rectus abdominis and that, and then tomorrow, you know, will be obliques. But I don't know, I'm just spitballing. Now with these, I'm not gonna rock as much. I might like sit up a little bit, get those hip flexors nice and stretched out. The thing I'm kind of discovering is that I just need to widen my legs out. Even though I naturally have a tighter stance. I'm gonna say I'm on 8, I have no idea. 9, 10, 12. Good. I'm getting a good pump from it. Maybe a little bit more weight for this last set, but again, I want to keep it light. All right. I think we might actually do overhead squats. We have not done those yet, and they're going to be bad. Like, they're going to be so bad. So we're just going to do like body, or not body weight, but like just the barbell. God, I don't even know if I can get that low. Like, maybe I can. Oh, dude, that's going to be a mighty if. That's going to be a mighty if, my guy. Whatever, we're going to, let's do this. I'm like sitting here fretting it. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And again, I'm only going to get 2 sets recorded, and then I'm going to start getting set up for whatever we're going to do with core. I'm really trying to go slow on that last little bottom rep. I'm trying to like focus on like the stretch. There we go. One more. That's good. Good pump. Solid pump with the hammies. Okay. Yeah, let me get ready for these overhead squats. Let's just see how. I'm going to do a warm-up set and then we'll record 2 sets. All right, these feel terrible, but I want to get them in because I definitely can tell just from the first set that I've got, for the sake of shoulder mobility, I got to start getting these back in. Hopefully I'm in frame. I might move y'all back here in a second. We'll see how it's looking, but right now I just want to get these fucking done. Man, I feel that shoulder working too. Oh, God. That's why those hips out. Much better. I need to get that depth. I need to look for it. There we go. I hope I'm getting depth. Yep, that's got to be thrown back in the mix. That's just for the sake of mobility. I can tell you right now, just wrestling and jiu-jitsu wise, that's going to help with like shooting and that ankle mobility you need with that, and keeping your head up. So definitely going to be throwing these in at least once a week, but we'll do one more set. I'm not adding any weight. I almost forgot we got to get glute raises in too. Or glute, whatever the hell. So we could do those right here, actually. Again, that's all going to depend on that inner thigh. It's definitely going to get hit. When I throw that kick, part of what I'm doing is I'm squeezing my glute to snap. You know, thrust my hip forward. And I can feel it when I rotate with my TFL. Well, I just sounded like a freaking scientist there. TFL is like this rotation tendon that you use whenever you like rotate your kicks. And so when I'm doing this, I can feel that. And I feel like, I don't know. We're going to see what's going to happen. We might just have to do a little bit less weight, but we got to start hitting those too. Like, that's one of the main things. Like, so this is part of the reason why I preach I'm not a freaking bodybuilder. Like, athletics, you know, in bodybuilding, you're not going to train your glutes like this. But in athletics, if you don't, you're going to get your ass whooped. Like, it's just straight and simple, especially in something like MMA, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing. That is a fundamental muscle group for power. So like, yeah, you're gonna have to do all the chick moves, man. Like, you're gonna have to do the glute raises, and I even do the cable glute machine. I don't give a fuck. Or the kickbacks. Like that's the thing. Like, all of these function on something called the drive factor, right? And the drive factor is your motion through your heel down, and part of that is your glutes. A big part of that is your glutes. That's what extends your hip out. And especially when we're talking about your punches, your kicks, when you're shooting, when you're trying to take someone down, you're literally deadlifting someone off the ground. Yeah, that's going to be used, right? I mean, you can use this for anything. Like when we're talking about basketball, you're prone from here to here, right? Any movement here to here is going to require those glutes, especially for power. So you best be working on it. But football too. I mean, you can name any sport besides bodybuilding. Again, that's why I say that, because again, there's so much saturated bodybuilding content out there. No one really wants to be a bodybuilder. Like, there are people out there, trust me, there are people that do, but like the majority of the population are looking at those people for tips. And not that they don't have bad tips, but what if they don't plan on competing in bodybuilding at all? What if they just want to be able to like play with their kids and not feel like they're going to be winded, right? Like, this is what I'm talking about. You got to be very goal specific here, guys. That's a big thing I emphasize with this kind of training. Goal specific. You're training for what you're trying to get better at, and that is it. Ooh, these are actually opening up a lot more right now. But yeah, that is called the principle of, I hate this word, specificity. That's as close as I'm going to get. But the more specific you are with your training, the more closer you're going to get to whatever goal you really want to do. Now, that's going to take a lot of goal setting and getting crystal clear on what you want to do. But the more crystal clear you become, you know, on what your goal is, the more crystal clear the path you need to take to get there is. And that's what most people aren't doing. They're just saying, hey, I'm going to lose some weight this year. Okay. You know, go fasting for 3 days. You'll lose a little bit of weight. Like, get specific. That's why people are not really getting where they want to go, is they don't even know where they want to go, you know? Anyways, done with those. Definitely need to set these up. I haven't done barbell hip thrusts in quite a bit, so we are going to go ahead and throw in like maybe a 45 and get in, well, whatever the hip allows. All right. These for 2 sets, and then we're going to get over to the core. See, this is why I'm not recording every set. Because if I focus on recording every single set, I get to the point where I'm not getting either as many exercises in, or, you know, doing what I want to do. Because I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be a long video, you know, but 2 sets, I feel like it's good change up pattern interruption. You guys, I can cover the information that's really needed, and it takes out a lot of my chitter chatter, because I will chatter. That's what the live streams are for. Yep. All right. Really trying to focus on squeezing the glutes. One more. They don't feel great, but we'll get one more set of those in. It's not a problem. Starting to zone out. That means I'm starting to get hungry. I need some food. Yeah, I felt that one. Okay. That was 3 sets of 10. Unrecorded 1 set, but now we're gonna go ahead and try out our L sits and just see if we even have that in us. Even a 5-second hold I'll be happy with. And then we'll superset that with like 6 to 8 ab rollouts. We'll see how it's feeling. All right, our practice attempt has been attempted. We can for sure get a 10-second hold on the L sit. And then we're gonna do 8 on the ab roller. I'm trying to decide if I wanna do like see if I can keep a pull up held while I do the L sit, because I know I can do a few like L sit pull ups. And just to work on that scapular retraction. I don't know if that would make it harder on the core or not. I don't know. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. However many we get on this one is however many we get, and then we're gonna do 8, and then we're just gonna do a regular set on the last set. But let me get my headphones steady. We'll see. I don't know how my lats are doing from yesterday. Oh, key with this, by the way, is a slightly tight grip if we're gonna do the pull-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Yeah, we can do those. See, this is how you find out. You just fucking try, dude. I had no idea. I didn't know I could do the L-sit pull-ups until yesterday, because I just fucking tried it. Now these are what's sucking for me right now, especially after the L-sit, because the abs are already tight. 6. Okay. All right, well, these are harder. Those are fun. I find finding those pretty fun. I think on the next set, we're going to do a chin-up variation of those. See how that feels. Like I said, just experimenting around, but another reason I'm hitting this on leg day is because this is actually any kind of leg raise variation, and really anytime you hit your lower abs, you're gonna hit your hip flexors, which is part of the leg, so I do like to try and somewhat activate them, but let me catch my breath, we'll do one more. Now what I'm about to do is kind of stupid, but this is where, again, I've said this before, treat this like a playground, right? We're gonna see if I can do that again, but with a 10-pound medicine ball wedged between my legs. I don't know if this is gonna, again, I didn't know if it was gonna happen before. I'm not gonna know until I test it out. We're gonna have to just keep going. And I guess one of the next things I kind of want to learn is how to do that lever, I guess is what it's called. I guess it's not too far away. All right. Did I say I was doing chin-ups on this one? Chin-ups actually might be a little bit easier just because you can crunch a little bit more. But all right, I'm trying to get my mind right. All right, 10-second hold. 10-second hold. Ooh, I got like 6 seconds. That's okay. Like I said, you're not gonna know until you try it. And then we got 8 of these. I gotta say though, I don't think that chin-up variation was very much easier. It actually felt a little bit harder. Couldn't get my lats where I wanted to. Woo. Okay, yeah, those hip flexors are starting to really fucking take a hit. Okay. Ooh. Especially this one. All right. We're done. The posing room's open. I might go ahead and get a pose out real quick, and then I've got to hit my conditioning with the bag work. So pose out, and then I'll see you guys in the car. I will say, something about the way they redid this room makes it look significantly better. As far as lighting, I don't know what it is. But legs, we want to take a quick little gander at them. Something to lean on. They're kind of not pumped anymore. But when we were doing those hamstring curls specifically, I was really feeling a good pump, especially in the hammies. So, yeah, and you can kind of see some striation coming out in here just a little bit. So, I think, again, that'll take some time. Let's just see how the core is looking. Still definitely not where I want it to be, but I feel like the routine with the tracking and getting back on track with that is back to where it needs to be. So now we just got to stay on it, you know, but all right, let me take this hat off. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you can still kind of see that like ab definition on the siding and stuff, but one, that glycogen's starting to go down, so that definition's not going to be there, especially as we keep going on and on. But I do feel like we got that lean, you know, lean athletic look going. But again, I don't want these love handles. These love handles got to go. Not dealing with them. Not dealing with them. But now, again, we don't have the vacation to like bounce around. And again, that was a really good learning experience of being like, okay, I need to like really make sure this is not just, you know, the diet is not just something you follow when you're dieting. It's something you're supposed to be following all the time. You just got to tweak it for certain occasions. You know what I mean? So not going full off the handle. But like I said, I do feel like I'm gaining some serious muscle along this. I'm definitely gaining like power and explosivity while maintaining the same weight. So again, that's what's got me excited, you know, because again, let's drop 20 pounds, see what happens with that same kind of power. But that being said, we still got a lot of work to do. I'd say a solid at least 60 more days of the cut, at least 60 more days. I might push it to 90. So this in total, it would be a, you know, we're about 60 in, about, God, my brain, about 150 day cut. You know what I mean? Which is a really long cut, but it's like I said, it's not a bodybuilding cut where you're, you know, prioritizing just significant fat loss. Like obviously that's the course and what you want to do. But like also, again, wanting to keep this extremely athletic. Like that is the whole point of an athletic cut, is you don't want to take away athleticism for the sake of, you know, transferring away that fat loss. Now, again, if your main goal is like you need to lose 100 pounds, that should be happening. You know, I'm not, once you hit like, I would say probably about 16 to 18% body fat, you get into this state of like, you're not gonna definitely keep losing to that degree anymore, because most of what you are, if you are 16 to 18% body fat, you are a lot of muscle still. Even though that's not like shredded abs, that's still a lot of lean muscle. And so it starts getting kind of complicated. You know, you start have to wager, am I willing to lose some of this, especially if you're not taking testosterone, am I willing to lose this muscle in exchange for this fat loss? And you do have to make those, sacrifices, right? Like you can't just not agree to that. Again, unless you're taking something like testosterone, in which that's what solves that problem, you know? It would solve a lot of problems for me. I could just go into a 2,000 calorie cut and trust the process with that and not get worried about losing muscle. But that losing that muscle thing's constantly in the back of my mind. But again, you can gain that back relatively fast, you know? It's just, again, I have a lot of stuff I'm wanting to do competitively, like getting back into jiu-jitsu, all these different types of things. And so, I don't know. There's a lot of different things going through my head as far as like how I've designed my training. My training's super complicated compared to what I would, do for somebody else. But it's because I've been doing it for 15 years, it's my own system. It's kind of like, if you guys are in school and you used to take notes in class and someone asks to borrow your notes and you're like, well, you can borrow them, but I don't know if you're going to be able to understand them. That's that's where I'm at. But that's why we do these vlogs, so you can kind of get a hint on how this works. But yeah, the main thing for me is like, I want to cut, but I don't want to go too aggressive to the point to that, like, for example, one thing that's huge that really gets me is that it'll affect my work, because like guys, you realize how hard it is to make content, or record content, to edit content, be creative when you are zapped of energy in a cut. It's very hard. So, like, see, these are some of the things I'm battling, because it's something I can't just stop doing. That's the job, and so dealing with energy levels while running a business too, that's another thing. It's just like there's 20 billion, and this is just the way entrepreneurship is that there's 20 billion things you got to be doing at once because you're running all of it. So anyways, that's me explaining my little shindig there. Just to say it's all calculated. And I also wanted to say that if you wanted to lose body fat faster, you could, faster than what I'm doing in this cut. I wanted to make that very well known. But again, you have to make sacrifices in that. Are you willing to, take testosterone so you don't lose that muscle? And can you compete like that, right? If you are competing. If you aren't competing and you just want to be an athletic fucking dad or an athletic fucking mom, then fucking, the way I say is, who gives a fuck, right? Like, it's your health. I mean, if it wasn't for competition, I'd be on it right now, like, that's for real, because it's in a healthy way, but anyways, I'm running on tangents again. This is the whole point, reason we started clipping this all up. But anyways, so I wouldn't do that. I'm going to go ahead and get my conditioning in, because that's definitely a part of this next process. Go ahead and tell y'all what it is. It's going to be basically like 5 rounds, 1 minute on, 30 seconds off. Very hard, planned combos. Do kickboxing combos, make it real simple. And then, I'll see you guys in the car, but you'll see the aftermath. It'll be awful. All right. Quiet airplane or freaking helicopter. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. That was pretty good. I mean, it definitely wore me out, but not like those sprints did. Those sprints were definitely by far the worst thing. I want to get them back in. I just literally can't. My body won't let me without hurting myself. And in fact, even on some of those kicks, man, it's this hip, it's this left hip. It's wanting to give me complications. But anywho, good workout. I mean, we were sweating from the get-go. So I'd say that is a definite, I always tell people, as far as my clients, this, I say, expect a third of your week of workouts to suck. Expect a third of them to be all right, not too bad. Expect a third of them to be pretty damn awesome. You feel fucking awesome when you get done. You feel like you got something done, right? Towards your goals. That's what I felt like this workout was. Oh my God, you guys are moving. How do I fix this situation, man? Because again, this is let me try doing that. Make sure you guys stay down here.
because we are just gonna have to go get us a new freaking tripod, man. You guys may move around a little bit, and if so, I am sorry. I don't mean it. Yeah, hold on, y'all are all over the place. I'm probably look pretty crazy in this parking lot, but that's okay. We're still in the parking lot. Better? Sorry, my OCD is just kicking in. I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like the way that looks. I honestly don't like the way y'all are angled either, but it's whatever. Yeah, like I said, I gotta go run some errands anyways, give y'all a little behind the scenes. I'm getting a little bit more ambitious with the content. In case you guys don't know how content works, like there is a whole strategy to the way I make videos. I mean, I'm sure you guys notice I make videos different ways sometimes, but it's not like I'm just like throwing things to the wind per se. I mean, sometimes I am, just kind of see how it does. But I'm trying out different hooks, I'm trying out different stuff, and one of the things I'm trying to kind of work on is my visual hooks, which is like when you scroll to the video, right? Whether it be a reel, YouTube short, or be a whatever the hell, you know, TikTok. The first thing you see and hear, you know, the visual hook. There's an audio hook, a visual hook, and then there's a text hook. You know, and the text hook's down. I could work on some audio. I've got a few different things I'm trying out this week. Why are y'all like literally twisting the other direction? I can't see past this bush if I can go. And there's road work right here. I can't, okay. Yeah, y'all are like turning as we're talking. That's weird. Can I do this? I can. Well, maybe that's better. I don't know. You guys tell me. I kind of like it better. Anyways, I'm gonna have to scrunch down. Yeah, we're gonna go get some props for the visual hooks today. So one of the things I have to get is literal fucking face paint. You guys will see. I'll give you all this behind the scenes. So next week we're gonna come out with it'll be more on TikTok. Like that's where I prioritize the content. And then if I have time, I try and move it over to this platform too. But it'll be for sure on TikTok. You guys will probably see it on the YouTube as well. But what I'll do is I'm gonna paint my face like a mime and I'm gonna kick shit. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I think it'll be a good little TikTok. Make it funny, catch people's attention. Maybe make them check my page out, and let them go through the wonder list there. But I've got a few different like visual hooks too. I'm also going to be trying something really ridiculous. Like, the more ridiculously, honestly, the better, because that's what makes someone stop the video. You know what I mean? Like if you ever, for example, I used to do this thing where, and you guys have probably noticed it, where I'll go like, in my videos, I'll go, "What's going on, you fat bitch?" Or "Hey there, you fat bitch," or whatever. "You're a fat bitch," because, you know, because it would make someone, it's polarizing for one. Not everyone likes to be called a fat bitch when they're scrolling, but it makes you stop and have an emotional reaction. And if you actually feel like a fat bitch and you want to change it, well, then I've got the content for you, you know. It's not like I'm saying that to be mean. I'm doing it to find the people that need value from this kind of content, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'm not being mean to be mean. I'm being mean to filter, if that makes sense. To let the people who resonate with my stuff find my stuff. So, anyways, we're gonna be doing, I've got to go get face paint, I've got to go get hot dogs, I've got to go get one of these. I don't know, there's a few different things on the list I need to go grab. So we're gonna go home, eat some, you know, I meal prepped some steak yesterday. I say some steak. We meal prepped 4 pounds of fucking steak yesterday. So we got steak. The steak is unlocked. So I'm gonna make me, you know, I'm gonna air fry that for a good 10 minutes. Or actually really 5 minutes because it's already cooked. Get it nice and crispy. Then we're gonna cut that into pieces. And I'm talking probably a good like 14 ounces or so of round steak, you know, so that's pretty good protein. And then I'm gonna get like 2 or 3 servings worth of tortilla chips, and then cheese, Italian blend cheese for some extra protein, and obviously nachos. I might, if I have the calories, go ahead and add some ranch to it. I might not. I don't need the extra fat. I really need more extra carbs. So we'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling. Right now, I just know I'm pretty damn hungry, but that should give me a solid like 70 to 80 grams of protein. I can't remember how much it gave me yet. I did something like that yesterday too. And it is delicious. It is delicious. I really need to start doing my canned chicken meals in the afternoon post-workout. Because it's not like I really am craving that at night, but it's what's left over and what's mandatory, you know what I mean? So I don't know. That being said, you guys are flopping around on me, so we'll end the vlog. Hey, you're back. What's up? We're going to end the vlog anyways, though. Sorry. I don't care if you're back. But on Friday, we will probably be in Hot Works because I'm wanting to try out just some different equipment. There's actually a whole extra location, Hot Works, that I'm probably going to go to tomorrow morning on the whole other side of town, just to see if it's any different, if they have anything extra there. And spot it out, see if we're good to go there. You know, like I said, just kind of bounce around. But I'll see you guys on Friday. Peace!